Good morning, everyone. Let's all take our seats. It says Mishkan Tefillah, a reform Siddur for Shabbat. We are going to begin on page 192 with a blessing this beautiful space that we are privileged to be in to celebrate Sloane's bat mitzvah this morning. For those of you who can read Hebrew, you can use the Hebrew on the right side of the page. For those of you who may not know how to read Hebrew, we have English transliterations on the left-hand side of the page, and the melodies are very fun to sing. So without further ado, Ma Tovu, page 192. Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Vanim Perov Chastecha, Ahavo Veitecha, Eshtacha Velecha Lekochecha, Beiratecha. Let's try that now. Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone. It's so nice to see all of you here. And I just want to remind everyone to please keep your mask covering from the top of your nose to the bottom of your chin. Unfortunately, our 7-day moving average is going in the absolute wrong direction. So we just want to keep everyone safe and sound. There were some issues. People may have not gotten some masks on the way in, but it looks like everyone did. We have extras in the back if you need them with Stacy. For those of you joining us online, Shabbat Shalom. It's great to see you and welcome you. I hope you're not too cold wherever you are, especially if you're in Michigan. It'll be about 80 degrees here today with a wind chill of about 78. What can I tell you? Friends, we have a Siddur called Mishkan Tefillah. If you're online, please click in the description below, and you will be able to follow along with the service as Sloane leads us as she becomes bat mitzvah. But this is a service. Participate, sing, clap, dance, whatever moves you. Before we can begin this fun simcha, we are going to have my good friend Avery come to the bima so that this beautiful talit that was shamelessly, I'm going to do a shameless plug, picked up on the Big Trip Israel, a program of Camp Daisy and Harry Stein a few years ago, and Avery got this just for today. So Avery's going to present this to Sloane, and then Sloane will say the blessing.
Sloane, we're so proud of you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahitatef b'tzitzi.
Amen. Hugs and kisses. Cantor and Jackie and I want to welcome Will Koslow, a member of our board of directors and our executive committee, here on behalf of the board, and he's going to be presenting some gifts later on to our bat mitzvah. And the one and only Dina Mandelbaum, our bat mitzvah's mentor, following in the tradition of mentoring Avery, I believe, correct? You did not? Well, Avery didn't need a mentor. Avery is a mentor. There you go. Who? Oh, Fran. Okay. Well, that's not a bad mentor. Let's get on with things. Cantor has already started us off with Mato Vu, and we have a wonderful Parsha and a wonderful Shabbat planned for everyone this morning. Sloan's going to join me up here now to lead all of us in what is called Birkot Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings which give thanks to God for the miracles we experience every day. We'll be on page 198. Take your time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech v'na lechavhin ben yom uven laila, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamachin mitzadei gaver, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten layayef koah, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir sheinai me'enai utnuma me'afapai, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'esani b'tselem Elohim, who made me in the image of God.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'esani bat chorin, who has made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'esani Yisrael, who has made me a Jew.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael betifara, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen. We'll continue with Hallelujah, page 150. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Let's try that together.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Hallelujah, El Mekodsho. Hallelujah, Birkiauzo. Hallelujah, Bigamur Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. It's absolutely okay to clap along. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. In fact, it's encouraged. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, meteka shofar. Hallelujah, benevel vechinor. Hallelujah, betofu machol. Hallelujah, beminim ve'ugav. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Metzil Tzalei Shama. Hallelujah, Metzil Tzalei Chua. Kol Anashama, Tehallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Last time, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
We'll continue on 224 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועלמד יברח חירותי והמליך מלכותי. בחי יכולים וימכון וחי לכל בית ישראל. פגלה ובזמן קרים וימרו.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'alam Ulamei Amaya Yitbarach.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומה וינשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן פעלמה וימרו.
Amen. Let's all stand for the Baruch Hu, page 226.
I'll try that. Lie, 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 lie,
Deepest gratitude to God for the ongoing passage of time, night turning into day. Yotzer Or 228.
Baruch
Atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol.
Hameir la'aretz v'la'arim alecha barachamim, uvtuva mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asech Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, v'al me'orei or she'asita, yefa rucha selah.
אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
We continue in English on 230. It will become a responsive reading, which means we'll join in the indentation on the bottom.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears, whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Enlighten our eyes with your Torah. Focus our minds on your mitzvot. Unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. Having trusted in your great and awesome holiness, we shall celebrate your salvation with joy.
Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us.
Truly,
You drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love.
praise be you,
Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Baruch Shemo.
Avochem b'Emo Yisrael pe'ahava.
Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. 234.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinontam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, v'shivtecha bevetecha, uvleftecha v'adere, uvshopecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafo b'neinecha. Uvtavtam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohehem ani Adonai Elohehem asher hotzeti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lahem lelohim ani Adonai Elohehem Adonai Elohehem Amen.
Continue now in our Siddurim on page 239, responsively in the middle of the page.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. We join together Micha Mocha, page 240, and we invite you all to clap your hands with this one, because that's exactly what Miriam and the women did. They used their timbrels, they clapped their hands, they made a lot of joyous noise. So please join along in their tradition and honor.
Zu Yisrael,
Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufedeichenu Mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael, Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Amen. We're at the center point of our morning service, the Tefillah, Amidah. So let's all turn to page 242, and together, whether you're at home or here, please stand.
Adonai sefotav tita ufia gitzehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Ve'konei HaKol Ve'zoher Hastei Avot ve'imahot Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mehayeh Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv Harua Umorid Hagashem Mechakel Hayim Behesed Mehayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'agevurot Umid ממית ומחיה ומצמיע ישועה ונאמן אתה להיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
And we continue with the Kedushat Hashem, page 248 or 130. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא הושיענו, והוא ישמיר ברחמיו לעיני כל החי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול, וקדוש אתה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ברוך אתה אדוני
Please be seated. Please join me in the middle of 252 with our blessing for this day of Shabbat. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. May Israel, who sanctifies your name, rest on Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael, v'tfilatam ba'ava tekabel tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people, Israel, always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. O God and God of our mothers and fathers, let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion, to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. Be not afraid of silence. It is more powerful than the awkward word. It allows God's voice to be heard. It allows the tears and the terror, the disbelief and the doubt to tumble out. Be here with quiet compassion that flows from the depths of your being, through your eyes, your touch, your sighs, into your very soul. Stir not from the hush until you sense that hesitant blush of hope and understanding. Be not afraid of silence. And with that, we take a moment of silent prayer.
Page 258 or 140. Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people Israel. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha ba'olam. Chesed verachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Chen v'chesed verachamim, chen v'chesed verachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Let's try that. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Ki ve'or panecha, ki ve'or panecha natat lanu Adonai Eloheinu. Torat chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka verachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom ve'shalom. Everyone, sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. One last time, sim, 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 shalom, tova uvracha ba'olam. Sim, 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 shalom, tova uvracha ba'olam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Amen. We're now at the Torah service, which can be found in your prayer books on page 362. I know some of you online, may be witnessing a bar or bat mitzvah for the first time. And really, the apex of the service is when our bar or bat mitzvah gets to chant from the Torah. Now, the Torah contains the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It is written on parchment with a very natural ink. And for those of you who have participated thus far, you know this because we are writing our centennial Torah, a Torah celebrating our 100th anniversary as a congregation. And just this past week, our scribe was here for his second visit on a table that we set up with a piece of parchment, a quill, literally a feather, and our preschool kids were up there. Now, I know a lot of you went to our preschool, by the way, because a lot of them are in Isabel's grade, so this I know. And they were all up here, and they got to put their hand on the sofer as he was writing a letter of Torah, which was incredibly cool and very sweet. And we have pictures posted in case you want to see it. The scribe will be here a couple more times throughout the year, and then next summer when we go to Israel, we'll be picking up our 100th. He'll be sending this one piece of parchment to Israel to be attached to the rest of our Sefer Torah that we'll be bringing back with us at the end of our Israel trip. So, all of that being said, the Torah being read by a bar bat mitzvah is not only important, but it is really the moment they become bar or bat mitzvah. And so we get to do that now. We have lots of guests that we're going to invite to the Bima for several honors. I'll kind of tell you where to stand, but as I call your name, come on up. I won't I will tell you exactly where to stand. I'm not going to leave it up to you. But please make sure you have your masks on when you come up to the Bima. We are calling now for the honor of opening our Holy Ark. Cindy and Harold Deitch, Marvin Deitch, Mandy and Jim Deitch, Samantha and Zachary Deitch. And it keeps going, Sutton Schultz. Or is this for the returning the Torah? Yeah, so we end with Samantha and Zachary. And you guys can all stand on either side of the Aron HaKodesh, of the Holy Ark, please. And we're going to call for the honor of generational passing of Torah. Sloan, I'm going to have you stand right over here, my dear. You can leave your siddur there with Dina. And then lining up next to Sloan, we invite Rena and Ron Myers, Barbara Schultz, and of course, Robin and Mark. Stand right here, sweetie. There you go. Hang out right there. And for the honor of uncovering our Torah, we're going to have Anna Roth, Blake Gedrich, Alexis Schultz, and Brody Schultz. And you can all stand right over here, sort of next to this Torah stand. Of course. Come on up. She may need to. There you go. So then we'll do Robin here. We just decreased the size of the congregation in half. And now we're going to call, that's it. I'm not calling anyone else up here. Torah service 362 in your Siddurim.
Ein kamocha
Elohim Adonai,
ve'ein kema'asecha, malechutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam vaed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et hamo v'shalom.
Please stand.
Avarachamim heitiv avir tzonecha et Zion tivnei chomot Yerushalayim tivnei chomot Yerushalayim ki levad batachnu melech el ram venisa adon olamim ki mitzion teitzei Torah ki mitzion teitzei Torah ultevar Adonai Mirushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael V'kedushato.
The Torah is the precious heritage of the Jewish people representing our past. It is our guide for daily living. It is our hope and faith in the future. Sloan, today it becomes yours to do with what you wish, to learn from how you wish, and to go out into the world and not only speak these words, but live them. Throughout the centuries, in times of oppression and exile, and even as it turns out in times of great pandemic, our Torah has been handed from grandparents to parents to children, no matter the situation. And in times of great joy, in Renaissance, in enlightenment, the Torah has been something we have attached ourselves to teach us how to live every day. Today it becomes yours to pass to your children and their grandchildren, Lador, Vador, Vador, from generation to generation, with all of our love. You represent all of the hopes of those who came before you.
Ledor vador nagid kodlecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador these lips will praise your name. These lips will praise your name. Ledor vador nagid kodlecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador these lips will praise your name. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, uneromema Shemo Yakar.
Everyone blow kisses to the Torah.
Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagevura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod Kichol Bashamayim Uvaretz Kichol Bashamayim Uvaretz Kadosh. Now it's your job. Here we go. Let's fill this place with a lot of joy. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lechar kodsho.
Please have a seat.
Please
have a seat. Everyone please be seated. Romemu. Well, this is one of the best Torah portions there is. And some of you may think I say that every week, and I do, but this is one of the best Torah portions there is. Number one, it's the Torah portion that I gave a Devar Torah on in my first year of rabbinic school at the Hebrew Union College, Jerusalem campus in 1990. It's a long time ago. And so it's very special to me, Sloan. So when we talked about it, I was having flashbacks. But you're talking about something totally cool today. Vayishlach is what we should say is the last parsha of the narrative of Jacob, but it is so filled with so many important things. Namely, Jacob's name is changed to Israel, Yisrael, one who wrestles with God. That is us. We are the descendants of those who wrestle with God. We don't take anything in Torah or in Mishnah or Gemara without arguing about it. From whence we get the term 2 Jews, 3 opinions, right? We wrestle, we argue, we struggle with Torah, with life. To be a Jew is to not be a Pollyanna. To be a Jew is to be one who engages in the good fight, argument, struggle with our tradition. So let's begin. If you're at home, if you're here or at home and you have a Plaut commentary, the URJ's commentary will be on page 219 for the beginning of Vayishlach. We will finish this week the story of Jacob, and then next week, Joseph, you know it. Okay, that's next week. We'll save it for next week. But I love.
I'm already there. Let's just do it.
I know. That's a given.
We're there.
We should do a duet. All right. So we're on 219 if you have a Plaut commentary. If you don't, I believe in your handouts, you will find the words in the middle. And you can see it's in a size 1.2 font. So I hope you brought your readers, but we've also got the English there. And if you just have a Bible, you're at home and you happen to have a Bible standing by, we're in Genesis chapter 32, verse 4. Those are the citations. I think I've given you all the information you need to follow along. Let's call for the honor of our first Aliyah. Lisa and Jeffrey Myers, Melissa and Paul Gedrich. Am I saying that right? Oh, good for me. Sarah and Matthew Roth, Amiko and Greg Myers, Stacy and Lonnie Myers, Samantha and Scott Schultz.
Yamod, Yaakov ben Rachmiel Verina, Tamod, Malka bat Rachmiel Verina, Tamod, Sarah bat Rachmiel Verina, Yamod, Zev ben Rachmiel Verina, Yamtu Rishon.
There you go. Just hold it for everyone so they can see it. Come on in nice and... We don't do social distancing for Aliyahs.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Vaishlach Yaakov Malachim Lefanav El Esav Ahiv Artsa Seir Sededom Vaitzav Otam Lemor Ko Tomirun Ladoni Le'esav Ko Amar Avdecha Yaakov Im Lavan Garti Va'echar Ad Ata Vayehili Shor Vahamor Tzon Ve'eved Ve'shivcha Ve'eshlecha Lechagid Ladoni Limzohen Be'enecha
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mazal tov yesher koach. We can do hugs to our bat mitzvah, and then we'll try to find room for you to stand on that side. Let's call now for the honor of our second aliyah, Rena and Ron Myers and Barbara Schultz.
Yamod Rachmiel Tamod Lina Tamod Sheina Yamdu Sheini.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayashuvu hamalachim el Yaakov lemor banu el ahicha el esav vegam hole likratecha ve'arba me'ot ish imo vayira Yaakov me'od vayatzer lo vayahat et ham asher ito ve'et hatzon ve'et habakar ve'hagimalim lishnei mahanot vayomer im yavo esav el hamahane ha'ahat ve'hikahu ve'chayaha hamahane hanishar
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chei olam nata b'chotenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
So this is a great part of the parsha. You know, Jacob has not seen Esau, his brother, for 20 years. Last time he saw Esau wanted to kill him, literally kill him for stealing the birthright from Isaac. The birthright isn't just your first son, it's you inherit everything, the land, everything. So he's just told by his servants, in the part that Sloan just read, that not only is Esau approaching, they're encamped in the middle of Israel. If you come on the Israel trip with us next summer, we're going to be in the place, and I'll tell you more about the story as we're standing in the place. He's just told that his brother Esau is on the other side of the wadi with 400 men. In Torah, 400 is not literal, it's figurative. It means a ton of military. A lot of troops with Esau, and he freaks out. He gets very, very scared, as any one of us probably would, knowing that our brother, who is also a hunter, wants to kill us and is coming with 400 men. So Sloan just read that, and it ended sort of, as you can see in your page, Jacob's going to start doing a lot of praying. So this is all, there are no atheists in foxholes. Jacob is definitely in a foxhole right now and about to say in our next Aliyah a very profound prayer to God, help me. Good. Let's keep the action going. Let's call now for the honor of our third Aliyah, parents of our bat mitzvah, Robin and Mark.
Yamod Matul ben Yitzchar v'Shena Tamod Rivka bat Rachmiel v'Reina Yamdu Shelishi.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Yaakov Elohei Avi Avraham Velohei Avi Yitzhak Adonai Haomer Elai Shuv Le'artzecha Umolatecha Ve'ativa ima Katonti Mikol ha-hasadim umikol ha'emet asher asita et avdecha ki v'makli avarti et hayarden hazeh ve'ata hayiti Lishnei Mahano Hatzilei na Miyad Achi Miyad Esav Ki Yarei Anochi Oto Pen Yavo Vehikani Em
Abanim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We'll take a moment now to ask for God's blessings upon all of our friends, family, anyone that is in our hearts or on our minds who are in need of our prayers for healing on this Shabbat. And in a moment, I'll call for names. If you wish to say the name of a loved one out loud, or online, if you wish to type in the name in the description comment section, please feel free to do so in just a moment. Yishaberach Avatenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Saraf Gorach v'Leah Hu Yivarech Et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and bring healing to those who are ill. Again, if you'd like to say the name of a loved one out loud, please do so at this time. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for the health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. We are so, so honored now to call for the honor of her bat mitzvah, Aliyah, the one, the only, Sloan Devin Schultz.
Amod Tamod Habachura Habat Mitzvah Beila Liora Bat Matel Verivka Chazak Venid Chazik
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Here. Beata Amarta Hetev Etiv Ima Visomti Et Zaracha Keho Hayam Asher Lo Yisafer Merov Vayalein Sham Balayla Hahu Vayika Min Haba Ve'ado Mincha Le'esav Achiv Izim Matayim Utyashim Esrim Rechelim Matayim Ve'lim Esrim. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Sloan, let's give you a special blessing as you just became bat mitzvah. Misher berach avatinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'yimotenu Sarah v'Barachov v'Leah hu yivarech Beila laora bat motel v'Rivka shehigia lemitzvot ba'alta lichvod hamakom v'lichvod haTorah. May God, who blessed Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bring blessings to Sloan, who has reached the age of responsibility, was called to Torah for the first time. We celebrate your dedication, that which brought you to this sacred moment today. May God continue to watch over you, Sloan. May your parents continue to raise you to full adulthood, leading you to a life filled with blessings of Torah, of chuppah, and ma'asim tovim, Jewish learning, the joy of a loving relationship, and of course, good deeds. And may you always find favor before God and the entire Jewish community. Together we say, Amen. We are so proud of you.
And kisses to your mommy and daddy.
And that's how you lane Torah. That's how you chant Torah. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
The grandparents agreed. No, that was very nice. And for people like your mom and I who grew up in conservative shuls, like that was really and nice and slow and every word had meaning. So we will leave Jacob by the wadi. We will hear more about that in a few moments, but first we're going to lift the Torah and redress it, and we will call for the honor of dressing, or at least assisting us in dressing the Torah. Let's see who we got here. Addison Gedrich, Ethan Roth, Lee Myers, and Dylan Gedrich. And Sutton Schultz, Owen, no, they're coming up when we, I'm sorry, Sutton, stay put. You're going to come open the ark in a little bit. Right now, just the people I called in the first round. Who cares? All right, I'm going to lift the Torah. We're going to redress it. Please stand. Next time we'll have more.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. 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 Everybody now. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. So we will now invite up Sloan to chant from the. Oh,
She was taking a break.
I'm going to give a little intro.
She was taking a coffee break.
Coffee break?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well
We'll
deserved.
send someone by to take a drink
Well-deserved.
order.
So in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, the section that comes after the Torah are the books of the prophets, the Nevi'im, and it is from the prophets that we have compiled, our great rabbis compiled, the Haftarah, which are selections from the prophets that are tied to the weekly Torah portion. And Sloan's Haftarah portion comes from the book of Hosea, chapter 11, verse 7, and she will begin right at the beginning. And then do we have a page number in the commentary, Rav?
I'm so glad you asked. We do have a page and a chapter. This we do not put in your insert, so if you have a Plout commentary, you can find our Haftarah for this Shabbat on page 241. If you're following along with a Bible of your own, we're in Hosea chapter 11, verse 7, right at the beginning.
Verse 7, right at the beginning. And Sloan will be chanting the blessings beginning on page 372, and you're more than welcome to join with her.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bim ve'im tovim ve'ratzav v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai Haboher Batorah Uv Moshe Avdo Uv Yisrael Amo Uvin Vie Ha'emet Vatsedek Ve'ami Teluim Lim Shuvati Ve'el Al Yikra'uhu Yahad Lo Yeromem Etenecha Ephraim Amagencha Yisrael Etenecha Chayadma Asimecha Kitzvoyim Nepa Alai Libi Yachad Nichmeru Nichumai Lo E'eseh Haron Api Lo Asher לשחט אפרים, כי אל אנוכי ולא איש, בקרבך קדוש, ולא אבוא בעיר. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol haolamim, tzadik bechol havodorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, hamdaber kayem, shechol devarav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la umvarhim ota yiparashim ha befi kol chai ha tamid leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Yasher Koach. We all say Yasher Koach. It means great job. Not quite done yet, but still great job, because now you get to teach us about what you learned from Parshat Vayishlach.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Throughout life, we all have to wrestle with many challenges, including our fears. And at times, we also need to wrestle with ourselves and arise as a better and wiser person when we get to the other side of life's struggles. The Torah portion for this Shabbat, Vayishlach, from the book of Genesis, is about Jacob and Esau reuniting for the first time in 20 years after Jacob stole the firstborn blessing from Esau. Both brothers are expecting a battle to happen between them and are expecting the worst. When Jacob was worried that Esau was preparing to kill him, he caved in by sending messengers to give Esau all kinds of gifts because he was living in his fear of his older brother having more power over him. Jacob was beyond terrified, so he split his large family into two camps. In his mind, he realized that if Esau strikes the first camp, the remaining one could still escape. The night before Jacob meets Esau, he is left alone near the Jordan River. A man wrestled with Jacob all night until he finally gave up and asked Jacob to let him go. Jacob would not allow the man to leave unless he blessed Jacob. The man renames Jacob Israel, which is the Hebrew word meaning one who has struggled with God. Now comes the big day where both brothers reunite. Jacob looks out into the distance and sees Esau approaching with 400 men. He bows down on the ground 7 times as Esau walks up to him. When they reach each other, instead of fighting, they embrace each other and finally forgive each other for years of separation. We can see that Jacob was scared of Esau, not only because he stole the most important thing from Esau, the birthright, but because Esau was more powerful than Jacob, and Jacob feared that. So Jacob decided to bring Esau gifts in hopes that it would make Esau less angry with him. In the end, we see that they never even fought. Instead, they shed tears and welcomed each other back into their lives. Jacob was living in fear of Esau for 20 years when he could have been living with the fear but overcoming it. He did overcome it in the end, but it took him time and bravery. We all have fears, but it is important to face them and not let them control you, because we all want to live life to the fullest, and if we live with our fears slowing us down, we will always be in fear. I also want to talk about the night Jacob wrestles with the man. We never really find out who the man is, but many believe it is either God or Jacob himself. I think Jacob was wrestling with himself because Jacob has two sides before he meets Esau again. There's the Jacob who steals the birthright and runs away from his troubles, and there's the Jacob that knows he is wrong. He knows he will now have to face the conflict he created and left behind. The night he wrestles with the angel, Jacob has to discover who he truly is. He goes into the fight as Jacob, a man who has stolen from his brother and hidden from his wrongs, and emerges from it as Israel, a man who has wrestled with himself and is prepared to face anything his brother might do to him. He comes out stronger. He emerged victoriously and maturely from the fight. Jacob walks away slightly wounded, but in realization that there is no other choice than to admit what he did to his brother. When they meet, they both realize they need to put their past behind them and continue their lives as brothers. Over my time of studying and preparing for my bat mitzvah, I've learned a lot about being Jewish and maturing along the path of being a bat mitzvah. I still don't know exactly who I really am as a Jewish adult, but I've been able to overcome many challenges along the journey, and I know I will throughout my future. I know my inner self will not run away from her problems and will know when she did something wrong and have the courage to admit it and fix it. I want to use Jacob and Esau's reunion as a way to encourage me to be strong and mature like Jacob and not let fear and power control my life. Now I would like to say thank you to all the people who made this special day possible. First off, I would like to thank everyone here for coming and sharing this important day of my life with me. Of course, my parents for making this day truly unforgettable. Thank you guys for always pushing me to be the best version of myself and believing in me no matter what. Thank you, Dad, for telling your very funny dad jokes and always saying yes to things Mom said no to. Thank you for helping me navigate the world with your wisdom and guidance. I can't wait for more memories with you. Mom, I love you so much. I know without you, this day would not have been possible. You have worked so incredibly hard to make this all come together, and I'm so grateful. I cannot express everything I want to thank you for, but most importantly, I want to thank you for raising me into the person I am today. Thank you for being selfless and caring so much about me, teaching me to see the best in others, pushing me out of my comfort zone, being my cheerleader, and embarrassing me. I forgive you. I'm so lucky to have such wonderful parents in my life. Thank you to Avery and Sutton for being the best siblings ever. Thank you, Avery, for being my role model, always making sure I'm okay, and letting me steal your shirts even when I don't ask. I will always look up to you. Thank you, Sutton, for always telling me how you love me and being the best little brother ever. Thank you, Softa and Papa, for giving me a second place to call home in Michigan, giving me unconditional love and wisdom. Softa, I love all of your stories, and I always look forward to seeing you. Papa, thank you for teaching me so many life lessons and making the best pancakes. Thank you, Nana, for always being proud of me and supportive. I know I can always count on you. I know Papa Saul would be so proud of me today. I would also like to thank everyone who made this service come together. Thank you, Rabbi Khan, for helping me interpret the Torah portion and teaching me what it truly means to be Jewish and its importance. Thank you, Cantor Ettinger, for making sure my Hebrew was perfect and being so patient with me as I learned. Thank you to my tutor, Robin, who helped me every week to make sure I was on the right track, and for all the little tricks that helped me chant. Thank you to my mentor, Dina, for always checking in on me, making sure I was doing good, calming my nerves, and teaching me valuable things to live with. I'd like to end with telling everyone how I see the world through my Jewish eyes. To me, becoming a bat mitzvah means I now have certain rights and responsibilities like performing mitzvot. But what it truly means is that I now have a responsibility to move forward as a Jewish adult and help and teach others along the way. I want to inspire others with my Jewish identity. I will never forget this exceptional day and will continue to live with my fears instead of in them. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
I'm so happy to, wow. What are you doing Erev Rosh Hashanah? Would be kind of nice. Maybe they'd like to hear from you instead of me. Yes. You and Rabbi Mason Barkin can do like the girl power sermon of the century. That was really wonderful teaching, and I appreciate it. We're going to call your parents up now, because they have a few things I know they want to say to you as well. And then after that, we'll return the Torah, and when we do that, Cantor and I will be able to bless you. So everyone just relax, and we'll have Robin and Mark come up. And I'm going to put the thing so that you're not talking with your parents. Put that back on. You can take this off when you're speaking.
Take my mask off?
Testing, testing. Okay.
Okay. Ugh, my earring is stuck in my hair. Oh, got
Are you
it.
allowed to take that off?
He just said. He doesn't even miss me. Oh, but I have to take the mask off and the glasses on. Okay. To our Sloanie. Wow. Ugh, I'm going to cry already. Ridiculous. So menopause. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Okay. To our Sloanie. Wow. Just wow. Dad and I are so very proud of you. It's worth repeating. Dad and I are so very proud of you. As we listen to you chant from the Torah so beautifully, my eyes filled with tears of joy and gratitude. Your hard work and dedication allowed you to be here in this moment, surrounded by your family and your friends celebrating you. Take a look around. This is a moment. Actually, being here in person is a moment. We are so proud and grateful for this moment. Sloan, we admire you for so many things about you. Your ability to pivot and pivot again, as demonstrated this year. Your drive to succeed, setting a goal, and knowing just what to do to accomplish that. Even as recently as this week as a budding track star. But mostly, we admire your heart, your generous heart, and your spirit, especially towards and with your family and friends. Everyone should have a friend like you. Our wish for you as you continue on this journey into adulthood is to continue being exactly who you are. Follow your heart, it's a keeper, and continue celebrating more and more moments just like this. We love you. You too. And Daddy will speak tonight.
So we decided to break up our speeches this evening, but I just want to say that we are so proud of you. We're so proud of the person you are and the accomplishment that you just had. And as people know me, there's an analogy in sports for everything in life, you know, and I would say that today you hit a grand slam to start off the game. You had a triple-double, then a hat trick, and then you ended it with a pick six for a touchdown. So congratulations. We're so proud of you.
Just going to wait for a second. That was beautiful. Thank you. And your dad went off the cuff and pulled it off. We're going to take a moment now to return the Torah to the Aron HaKodesh, to the Holy Ark. It's a pleasure to call Sutton. Where's Sutton? There you are, Sutton. And Owen Roth, Ryan Schultz, Declan Myers, Daniela Myers, Alex Myers, Drew Myers, Reese Gedrich.
All the nieces and
The nieces and the first cousins.
Yep, they're all the first cousins.
Boy, the grandparents, your
I
cup
know.
runneth over.
It's the second half
I right?
of the first cousins.
Yeah, it's the second half of the first cousins.
I mean, really.
I know, I had to get them all in.
So we already decided for Suttons, we're just calling everyone up for everything. Be easier that way. Everybody, no, just stay, please. And then, Avery, I don't want you to be the odd person out. No, seriously, we do want you to come up when we bless your sister, so just hang out with your parents for a second. Everyone else, please turn in your prayer books to page 368. Together, let's please stand. You guys can stand over here right now. You want it? You want me to get it? So you're going to stand behind her when we bless her. Okay? Vayaren keren le'amo, Kehilah lechol,
Chasidav, Livnei Israel Am Kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Eitz Chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom.
I'd like to do your camp interview right now.
Adonai,
I've been instructed to make sure that you understand, holy art or not, that you will be a camp
Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu.
My work is done.
Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
So I'd like to excuse everyone except for Sloan's immediate family. So all the cousins can go have a seat. Sutton, you stay, please. We want to get you acclimated to the Bema. We only have 3 years, right? Dina will, I'm sure, be happy to mentor you. Okay, so Sloan, come, stand here. Your parents are going to kind of just stand around you. It'll be sort of a love. You guys come closer. And everyone will remain standing for a few moments. Sutton, go stand with your mom. Avery, take a couple steps in. There you go. You have your immediate family now flanking you with love. So there are many things that I was thinking about saying to you today, but I wanted to keep it brief because your Devar Torah was outstanding. And when someone can really say, okay, here's this concept from Torah, and I'm literally applying it to not my life, but my outlook. This is a behavior, an attitude that I'm going to change, that I'm going to think about differently from now on. That is the magic of Torah. That is what I feel as your rabbi to be a moment when we can say our work, bringing you to that moment, has been so meaningful. Like, you get it. And the thing about you, Sloan, is you get it. You are a young woman who is not only comfortable with who you are, comfortable in your own skin, but a friend, a sister, a daughter who people can count on and can rely on because you have an old soul. You see things differently than others. You can look at the Torah and apply it to how you're going to look at things in the future. You integrate information coming from others, and you're able to sort of sift through it, and you know the difference between what's important and what's not important. You've got a grace and a dignity well beyond your years. And so here's the good news, bad news. I don't want to call it bad news. The challenge, since we're speaking of Yisrael, someone who struggles with or is challenged with this idea of God, your challenges, your struggles will be because you're, let's say, of a certain maturity, because you are confident. Some people in the next few years, especially as you become a teenager, but also as you become a young adult, will have a hard time with that. They like to keep things sort of on the shallower end, which is fine. I mean, teenagers are teenagers, right? That's totally fine. But I pray that you will continue to surround yourself with people who are deserving of your friendship and with whom you can continue to grow, to have moments of learning, and even like this morning, moments of transcendent learning. The challenges will be that there are some people out there who, because you are the way you are, and because they may not have that self-confidence and that maturity, will have a hard time in relationship and try to bring you down. And we want to make sure that you stay true to the words that you shared today. Your dreams, your aspirations, your vision is so wonderful, so amazing. Stick to the plan as much as you can, but know that there will be challenges. And that's the third thing that I wanted to say, and this is the good news. Jews have been around for 4,000 years. Jacob, along with Rachel and Leah and Zilpah and Bilhah, become the first real founders of the Jewish people. Of course, there's Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Rebekah. But we are called B'nai Yisrael, or Beit Yisrael. Our synagogue is Beth Israel, or Beit Yisrael. We are the children of Jacob. He's the most real, the most human. Leah and Rachel are amazing matriarchs for what they do and how they behave. We hope that you will take this concept of wrestling and struggling with God, with ideas, with the reality that is the world that we live in, and know that wrestling with it and struggling with it is what you're supposed to do as a Jew. Don't take anything for granted, but also don't take anything that someone says or does as real if it's not real for you. Be authentic. You are authentic, but continue to be authentic. Continue to use that old soul, that menschlichkeit that you have, to understand that you really can be a matriarch. You can be an agent of change, like Jacob was, like Rachel was, like Leah was. Don't shirk the responsibility that's being given to you because we need you so badly to help heal the world and make it right. You've got a lot going for you. Your parents have created, I remember way back in playgroup, your parents have created an amazing soul, but you are your own soul. And this bat mitzvah really represents the time, the springboard for you to go out and change the world. And I don't mean that in a trite way. I mean that in a real way. But enjoy yourself, have a great celebration, and then get to work. We love you, we care about you, and we can't wait to see how you continue to grow into an amazing woman. And I'm certain when we're standing here for Sutton's bar mitzvah in a few years, already we're going to see so much has changed in a positive direction because the world has you. And that's a gift for all of us. It's my pleasure to ask for God's blessings for you on behalf of Rabbi Mason Barkin and Stacy Rosenthal, all of your teachers who helped to bring you to this moment.
Yevarech Adonai ve'yishmerech.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elayich v'chunayich.
May God's countenance be lifted upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elayich v'yasem lach shalom, shalom.
May God's face always shine upon you, and may you always have abundant peace.
V'yasem lach shalom, shalom.
Amen.
Amen.
Let's do this.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, yehelanu. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Siman tov, yehelanu. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Israel. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Israel. Siman tov und mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov und mazel tov, siman tov und mazel tov, siman tov. Yehelanu.
Please be seated. Well, you were so lucky to have Dina Mandelbaum as your mentor. She, as you know, is awesome. And so she's here. She's going to present you with your Siddur. Where's your prayer book? Is that it? No. Where'd your prayer book go? I think, are you sure this? Oh, that's yours.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, hiding under there.
Sloan, you did an amazing job today. I mean, did you not do an amazing job? She did an amazing job. Absolutely. And I'm so proud of you, and it's such an honor to be your mentor. I get emotional because I do it for people that I've watched grow up, and it really means a lot to me. But this is your very own Siddur. You used it today, and hopefully you'll use it throughout your adult Jewish life. And I wish you Mazel Tov and the whole Schultz family, and have a great time today. Love you.
And Will Koslow is here. Will's a member of our board of directors and on our executive committee, and he's going to present you with all of the temple bling. I'm sorry, the temple swag. There we go.
So on behalf of the Board of Directors of Congregation Beth Israel, I want to wish you congratulations on becoming a bat mitzvah at our historic congregation. We could not be more proud of you, and I welcome you as an adult member of our community. I also want to extend my personal joy in celebrating the Simcha with your family and welcome all the visitors who came to celebrate with us from outside the valley. It's my great pleasure to present you with a few gifts from your new community. This envelope contains your bat mitzvah certificate, as well as a few certificates, one for Camp Stein and one for the Big Trip Summer in Israel experience. You'll also find an acknowledgement that a tree has been planted for you in Israel in one of the Jewish National Fund's forests. And if you go on the big trip to Israel, maybe you'll even have a chance to see it. We also contributed and started a philanthropy fund on your behalf as part of the Jewish Community Foundation of Greater Phoenix's B'nai Tzedek Fund. I'm also pleased to present you with a set of candlesticks that I hope you and your family use on Shabbat so that you can kind of remember this special day. And then my most favorite is you are getting your own mini Torah replica, and it is open to the Parsha that you read from today. So what I always kind of encourage people to do is that when you have the chance, you see it sitting in your room or wherever you guys decide to put it, that every once in a while you go back, revisit, and you can kind of take a look and remind you of this like amazing moment and awesome opportunity that you had. So again, Mazel Tov to you and your family. Congratulations, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll put these over here for you.
Thanks, man. All right, my dear. Now you can sit down. Here you go. All right, friends, we are going to conclude our service with Aleinu and with Kaddish. I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving on behalf of me and the cantor, hoping that you all have a wonderful time with family and friends this coming week. And remind everyone that we have Hanukkah very, very soon. So look out for some videos that we'll be sending out to the congregation with different families lighting candles, and it's going to be very cool. We're still sort of in our pandemic mode with some of the online stuff, but having this many people in this room is something that just warms our hearts, and we're so glad to be together in person. And I know how hard it is to move dates, and it takes a certain amount of, fortitude, but also courage to be able to do that. And for you, sometimes twice the learning isn't necessarily twice the fun, but you, with such, again, grace and dignity, did this, and I'm so glad that we're here today. So let's continue to celebrate our Simchas together. And Sutton, you are very much on deck. And Avery, I will see you at camp. I did a quick interview on the Bima for Avery, and, hired Avery just now.
Great.
Without even checking with Jason, or Jennifer. How you like that? Isn't that awesome? Okay, friends, we are going to conclude once the rabbi stops talking senselessly. We are going to do Aleinu page 586. Please, together, let's stand.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כאויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we share our deepest sympathies as we note the passing of the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest and whose families observe Shloshim, the immediate 30 days of mourning. Carolyn Altman, mother of Dr. Jerry Altman, Floyd Fan, husband of Beverly Fan, father of Larry Fan, Maury Furman, husband of Celia Lubin Furman, father of Lauren Fisher, Andrea Lazaruk, Matthew and Blake Furman, and Earl Geller, brother of Fran Frazen. On the Shabbat, we also remember those of our congregational family whose yahrzeits occur this week. Their names have been lovingly listed on our Shabbat flyer. If you would like to say the name out loud of a loved one for whom you are observing yahrzeit, please say their name at this time or type their name in the comments section below. May all of their souls be bound up in the bonds of eternal life. Mourners Kaddish 598. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabbah b'yamad divrach urutei v'yamlich machutei b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'al me'almaya. Yibarach, v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei dekutsha brichu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those of us who are grieving. Together we say, Amen.
Amen. So we're going to continue and end with an original song, Rabbi.
Original song.
An original song that relates to this week's Torah portion. And because we have so many campers here from Camp Stein, I know that they can go ahead and help me, and you can help me too. This is a song I wrote about 3 weeks ago, and for the full version, for those of you who are online, because we're only going to do a little bit of it today, you can go ahead and watch it. It's on our YouTube channel at Congregation Beth Israel of Scottsdale. All right, so the first part goes like this. It's very easy. Running, 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 running,
Running, running,
running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running, running. Run. Let's all try that. Running, 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 running. Running, last time, running, 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 running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running when the going got tough. Jacob got a running, and he always
you're here.
was
Good, how are you?
running inside of his head. When the going
Not at
got
all.
tough,
No, it was a good week. We
Jacob
had a
got
great
a
week.
running.
Elka was
When the
great.
going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running, and he always was running inside of his head. Just when Jacob thought that no one was around, an angel came down and threw him to the ground. They wrestled and they wrestled. Jacob put up quite a fight, and he ended up overcoming this angel's might. Now it was the angel's turn to run and flee. Jacob said, "You're going nowhere till you bless me." When the angel got tough, Jacob got a running. When the angel got tough, Jacob got a running. When the angel got tough, Jacob stopped a running, and he never was running from himself again. When the angel got tough, Jacob stopped a running. When the angel got tough, Jacob stopped a running. When the angel got tough, Jacob stopped a running, and he never ever ran from himself again.
Run and run. That was the debut.
That was.
The debut. All right, my dear. Hold up your Kiddush cup, por favor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
There's no grape juice in there.
It's a good year. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running, and he always was a running inside of his head. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running. When the going got tough, Jacob got a running, and he always was running inside of his head.